Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reliving the Extreme. Nate Maxson here with you. And on this week's show, we are, kind of discussing the episode of ECW from June the 7th, 1994. The reason I say kind of, and the reason the name of this episode is unfinished, is because my internet screwed us on this week's episode. Thanks, Spectrum. We did not get to complete the episode talking about the episode of ECW from June the 7th, 1994. We only got so far, and I am going to let you hear that audio, but you will hear some of the audio breaking up, and then halfway through recording the episode, my internet completely crashed, and it's just now back up and running and doing its thing. But anyway, yes. So that being said, I'm going to give you the audio that I do have here as we are discussing this week's episode of ECW here on Reliving the Extreme. And on the other side, I will provide you with the rest of the information about the episode of the show and some other stuff. So here you go, what I have for you for this week's edition of Reliving the Extreme. This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are discussing the episode of ECW from June the 7th, 1994. Nate Maxson here with you, along with my brother Aaron, as always.
What's up, Hambones?
And Chad Austin of ECW.
That's right. That's all I can say. That's right.
Well, Hambones, welcome to the latest edition of the show. And like I said, June 7th, 94 is the episode of ECW that we're reviewing this week.
Is that what we're doing?
And it is, yeah, that's supposedly. That
wasn't a show that I watched. You said June 7th?
June 7th, 1994.
I thought it was June 14th.
Uh-oh, Chad's in the future.
Did JT Smith fall off the top rope then? I mean, can I make it relevant? Is that what, I mean... did that happen?
The first match on this show is Sullivan versus Shera.
Oof. Hang on. I better go back and look at this paperwork here. Because I know, believe me, I know I sat there and I watched this crap. Jason video. On the back of, I must have it. Because on the back of the paper it says Jason video. I think I had this show on since Thursday. Yeah, it's got to be. You said it was 6-7?
Yep, 6-7, 94.
Yeah,
It actually opens up with the recap, or not the recap, but the Cactus Jack footage from last week with him saying "bang bang."
I loved it, man. I mean, that was one of the. Isn't that like? Do you think it was Jack or Paul that made that so great?
Probably a combo of both. You think about those brains.
Well, I can tell you it was about because I was there.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of them deals where Paul would make guys like me, Donnie. I can't even think of the other kid. You'll see him later on. The guy with the tattoos on his chest, that was a job guy that was there. Like Paul would tell us to stick around. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the promos, how they do stuff. I don't particularly remember this promo, but yeah, I mean, when I sat around and watched Jack's promos, I was like, dude, they are great.
And I'm sure for anybody that was willing to learn, to put in the hours to learn, that was probably a great learning tree to be under to do those late night promo sessions. And I'm sure it was fun too, I bet, at times.
But there wasn't a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like Paulie just told everybody. It might be me, like Mikey, that fat ass guy. I don't know what's his name.
Firehawk?
Tommy Dreamer. He was going out and getting hamburgers while all this was going on. But you know what I mean? It would only be like, literally a handful of the workers. And the cool thing is that you knew what Paul was doing because it was Terry Funk, Shane, I don't know, name whoever the big names were. And then Paul would say, give a half handful of guys that were job guys, stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Like not even saying there was going to be an angle, just sit here and learn.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I'm sure that was a blast especially for someone like you that wanted to learn and is a big wrestling fan too. To get to watch Terry Funk cut a promo or 3
or 7.
Yeah.
No, that's not a lie. No, that's not a lie. Because Terry would have to cut a promo. I mean, let's just say this is ECW. Come on, Nate. Let's look at it this way. Look, and then think about it how it was 30 years before this. This is ECW. It's a small territory. They might run 3 nights a month.
Right. Yeah. So you want to get as much on tape as you possibly can within those 3 nights. Yeah.
And then Terry Funk is used to cutting promos where he's working. I'm in Amarillo. I'm gonna do this to your daughter and blah 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 in San Antonio on Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. My horse.
That fucking poor horse. No wonder that horse died. Terry Funk, he drove her to the Omni.
Terry Funk's sick ass horse.
Like that fucking horse. He should have his own Instagram page. Terry Funk's horse. I've been to the Houston Dome. I've been to the Omni, the Meadowlands. Could you imagine Terry Funk and that horse?
How many territories has this horse helped Terry leave?
He's colliding up 95. Like right now it's snowing so bad that like the police and all can't get through like anything. But all of a sudden, with the lights on, you see Terry Funk's horse.
Desperado playing in the background as he rides up the highway.
It's Adam Page's music. Boom! It's fucking. Yeah, that's the Adam Page music, which, by the way, is my new favorite song. I just downloaded that to my ringtone.
It is cool,
isn't it cool?
Yes, it's a very cool.
And doesn't it make you seem even cooler when you're out somewhere and your phone rings, and then it hits and you look at it? I mean, you look at your phone because you know it's your phone, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you're like, yeah.
Modern product stuff. I'm halfway through AEW from last night, and I watched that Daniel Bryan Adam Page match, and it was fucking great.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, I have zero problem with that match, and I'm not a. I don't know how to say it. I'm not a guy who's against everything nowadays, and I'm not a guy who's with everything nowadays. I'm starting to become a guy. I'm sorry if you guys can't see me. I'm starting to become a guy who just is really becoming a guy who likes what he likes, right?
Yeah. I'm the same way.
I am, and like, not to talk about modern stuff too much because I mean we're reliving the extreme here, but that was I didn't watch the hour-long match they had, but I watched the 3 match, and it was the first match that I've watched in a long time where I wasn't fucking bored with it. You know what I mean? Like, I watched that entire match and was just like, Jesus Christ, this is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see more of that. I don't know if we're going to see more of it, but I'm like, like Double Juice, and it was just a really good.
No, you're right. You don't know if you want to see it again. You know, I'm not sure I want to see an hour match again, but you know that you've already watched it, right? You've already saw it, so now you realize I can see it, right?
Yeah. Well, and Page has definitely proven himself to be in that air, in the elite air. You know that he's going to be a top star for a number of years to come. Barring injuries and stuff, of course, but he's
my guy. He's
yeah.
my I think I'm in some fucking like little fucking league or whatever where you pick people. I don't know, and then you get points for whatever they do. I don't know, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the only guy I picked was Adam Page. I was like, fuck it, I don't need anybody else. Adam Page.
Cowboy shit. Let's do this. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not a stooge. I'm not stupid. I can tell you that whatever this is, it's 8/22 on this date right now. I can tell you that Adam Page is going to be a huge star in the next 24 months. I mean, am I wrong?
Oh, no, I'm totally on board with that.
And then, just like I said, I got halfway through AEW and I paused it, the one from last night, because we were going to do this. The other thing I saw on the show that I liked was that CM Punk came out in the middle of that, not even in the middle of it, but like at the beginning of that MJF match, and his fucking music didn't hit.
Yeah.
He just ran out. I was like, that's fucking great. Like, I appreciated that, because there's not going to be some fucking guy sitting there and be like, oh, hey, CM Punk's here. I'm going to hit his button.
Dude, Aaron, how many times have we said it? Like, what, Moondog Spot ran past the fucking music guy and said, hit the music. Like we're running out. Like, we said this shit a million times.
Mm-hmm.
That who is the guy telling the music guy to hit the music?
So the little bit of AEW I've watched tonight.
That wasn't funny?
Yeah, it was funny.
I didn't hear her laugh. What the fuck? I mean, I mentioned Moondog Spike or Spot or whatever. Spot removal?
Spot
removal.
Spot removal.
That's his new. That's his finisher.
Moondog Spot removal.
Vince is the spot removal.
Oh Lord.
Well, all right.
Praise it.
AEW hit on all cylinders last night. That was probably one of the best episodes of Dynamite that I've ever seen from beginning to end.
What?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked that show last night. That was a good show.
How about this? We'll just call it. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Speaking of a wrestling show that may be fine or not, June 7th, 94 ECW opens with Kevin Sullivan versus Kyle Shearer. And Scoops is back on commentary this week. Still no Joey Styles back. We got Scoops.
I've learned my lesson from last week, so I've changed his name.
You've changed his name?
Yes. He's now African-American Bill Watts Jr.
You can't do that.
He's not Bill Watts Jr. anymore. He's African-American Bill Watts Jr.
No, he's not. You have no authority to change the white guy's name. Or is he white? I don't know.
He's black. He's
what?
Black Bill Watts.
He is black?
Yes, he's black.
Well, you can't just give him names.
Aaron was just responding to the email he got from HR last week.
Like right now, he just got it. I mean, believe me, I know how HR works. I've gotten emails from HR within the first 15 minutes of me telling somebody she was pregnant and looked stupid. I know how fast that works, but we have HR on our show.
It's Archie Mitchell. He runs a terrible HR department. I'm sorry.
Archie Mitchell is our HR. I just thought he was a mark. I didn't know he worked here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Willie Scoops Watts is African-American Bill Watts Jr.
Okay. Now you said it for the third time. I guess we'll take it as the fact that Archie Mitchell Watts is an African American guy who looks like Bill Watts Jr. Is that what you said? How'd you say this? He looks like Whisper Watts. Who does he look like?
Whisker Savage. What?
I don't know. Whatever Aaron said, he looks like somebody.
Now I'm just picturing an African-American Archie Mitchell.
The African-American Archie Mitchell? It's Rufus R. Mitchell?
Coco B. Mitchell?
Oh, Junkyard Mitchell.
Junkyard Mitchell.
Like, we're not going to do a show, guys. I'm telling you. We're not going to do a show. This show's not going to happen. Asshole Butch Mitchell. Oh, this show's not going to happen.
Oh, pork chop Mitchell. All right.
Pork chop? You said pork chop?
Pork chop Mitchell, yes.
Oh, that's one of the best.
Bobo Mitchell?
No, pork chop Mitchell to me. Like, he's always my go-to when I come across wrestling fans and he try to tell me, I remember the old days. You know, the old days. Yeah, they don't make them like you used to. I go, like, pork chop cash? They go like, what? Like, they're thinking like Junkyard Dog. No, pork chop cash, man.
Oh, shit.
Pork chop Mitchell.
Pork chop Mitchell. Oh, shit. That's
What's the name of this episode?
That's right up there with Pork Chop Lesnar. Oh my God, that's hilarious! Are you into it? Are we doing a show?
That entire thing was more entertaining than this match was between Sullivan and Shearer.
Why I hope you're recording all this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sullivan just essentially beats up Keith Shearer outside the ring. Woman's kicking him around outside the ring. And Sullivan hits the stomp for the win. And then before we go to the aftermatch, Aaron, anything on this matchup here?
There were some signs held up by the ECW crowd. One of them was Kevin Sullivan is the poster boy for True Value Hardware.
That's a lot to put on a sign.
Yeah. And then the other one was a 90s reference that nobody younger than us will get. And it was a sign that said, well, isn't that special?
The church lady, Dana Carvey.
There were two signs.
I don't know. What does that mean? Isn't that a Saturday Night Live thing?
Yeah, that was Dana Carvey's church lady deal. Isn't that special?
Believe me, if I know what it is and it's from Saturday Night Live, it must be pretty big because I've never watched a Saturday Night Live in my entire life. I never have, but I remember that stupid broad, that said,
yeah,
isn't that special? And I can say okay, but I've never watched. I mean, not 1 second. And how old are you guys? You guys are my age. I'm 49 years old. I have never watched a minute of Saturday Night Live.
I watched it in the mid-late 90s when I was a teenager. That was about it, though.
Yeah. And then post-match...
I watch Cinemax. I mean, fuck. I mean, you go out, you get all drunk, you get banged up, you come home, and you put on the cable, and then there's Cinemax, and then there's boobies and stuff.
Confessions.
If you don't take somebody else home, you go home and then there's boobies on your TV.
That's great. That's great marketing. Welcome to Cinemax, boobies and stuff.
Yeah,
I love it.
I mean, they pretty much did advertise that.
But the post-match of the
boy, I missed the Harris boys.
Post-match of the Kevin Sullivan Keith Shearer match, Peaches, Woman, Tommy Cairo, and Sandman are all involved in it.
Yes. Peaches tries to attack Woman. Cairo comes out. The Sandman tries to cane Peaches. Sullivan grabs the cane from Sandman. There's a lot going on at the end here of the Sullivan match. And, of course, they're trying to advance toward the match between Sandman and Cairo coming up on the 24th. It's the cane on a pole match deal, I believe, which that show is on the cock. So
Nate,
I'm waiting?
A couple weeks, but Nate, you're saying this hostile.
He said a couple weeks.
You're saying this Hostile City Showdown thing's on the Peacock?
Yes,
I didn't see it. I saw Hostile City Showdown 96.
Nope, 94 is there.
Oh, you're gonna have to show me because I didn't see it.
Okay. Well, up next here on the show, we get a promo from Too Cold Scorpio, who is putting over ECW, is where the real wrestling is, putting over the stars of ECW. I think at this point, 1994, Scorpio is a great get for ECW.
Scorpio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 70-30. Yes, he was a great kid as far as in talent,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe not so great because he was on the mic. But
Right.
here's the gimmick: you didn't know if you could get him on the mic until you got him in the building. Does that make any sense?
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. kind of the
So
same. Kind of the same. We were talking about last week with Mr. Hughes, right?
yeah, you knew he was a talent, but what else does he have? Does he have another dimension to him? Does he have another layer to him?
Mm-hmm.
Can he talk people into the building?
Right.
And I thought Scorpio was a solid 3.5 out of 5. As far as that, am I not right by saying that?
No, I would agree because I always thought that I was a big fan of him in the ring, but I see what you're saying about the promos. Like he was always kind of a mediocre promo,
Because he never knew where he wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
He never had a direction. I mean, like don't even take WCW because they were all generic to begin with.
Right.
I'm going to be in Dalton and all that stuff. Throw all that out the window because that's all just generic stuff. But anything he's ever done, he's either had poor direction, no
Mm-hmm.
direction, or he wasn't good enough to
Mm-hmm.
to figure.
And that's where I had to call it. The internet failed me on this episode of the show. But I hope you enjoyed what we did get to record, discussing the episode of ECW from June 7th, 1994. The rest of the results from the show, we stopped at talking about Too Cold Scorpio. After that, RJ Power lost to Crash the Terminator. RJ Power is awful and awkward, and I have no idea, but this match, RJ got all of the offense. Crash did win, but his winning slam was actually the only move he got, it seemed like, in the whole match. So, what a turd there. Taz and the Sandman faced off. Taz defeated the Sandman. The Pitbull came out with his chain to attack the Sandman to attack Taz, I'm sorry, because they're going to have their dog collar match at the big show. There was a double team between Pitbull and Sandman on Taz. Sal Balomo beat Billy Firehawk in like 4 seconds, so that was just as long as it needed to be. We had a Jason and Mr. Hughes promo, a Cactus Jack promo on Sabu, which of course it's Cactus Jack, so the promo was great. Public Enemy in Texas on the Double Cross Ranch. It's actually, I'm not a huge fan of Public Enemy, but this was funny. I thought it was funny. I wish I could have got Aaron and Chad's feedback. Maybe I'll talk to them about this next week. But they are in Texas on the Double Cross Ranch. They're on a golf cart. They're going to steal Funk's horses. They wind up actually stealing an alpaca. So that was kind of funny. Mikey limps out to the ring, Mikey Whipwreck, to defend the TV title. He looks disheveled. I love the Mikey gimmick. He actually beats Mr. Hughes by disqualification to retain his title. And Paulie closes us out with a great promo about the match coming up between Sabu and Cactus Jack at When Worlds Collide, which, like I said, is on the Peacock, so we will be able to review that here on the show. So I want to thank you all for listening to what audio I did have this week for Reliving the Extreme. Hope you enjoyed what you got to hear. Next week, of course, we'll be covering June 14th. That should be Saturday, actually. June 14th, 1994. And I want to remind you, before I sign off this week, do check out all of the other podcasts here on the WrestleNet Radio Podcast Network. Of course, the We Can't Wrestle podcast. And, of course, follow us on social media, Reliving the Extreme on Facebook. Join the group. You can also join the We Can't Wrestle podcast group, as we have all kind of conversations there, discussions, even free giveaways of merchandise. So join the Reliving the Extreme Facebook group. Join the We Can't Wrestle podcast Facebook group. And now I will say, until next time around, we will see you. Have a great week, everybody, as we continue Reliving the Extreme. Reliving the Extreme is a production of Maxson Media, all rights reserved.